Welcome to She Decides, the podcast where we explore stories of women leading with vision, purpose, and unapologetic confidence. I'm your host, Staci Swiderski. In this inspiring episode, I sit down with Kathy Colon, founder and CEO of Nova Lux DR Properties. Kathy's entrepreneurial journey began while caring for a loved one and traveling frequently between New York and the Dominican Republic. What started as a personal discovery, falling in love with the country's natural beauty and vibrant culture, became the spark for a business that reimagines luxury real estate. Drawing on her executive experience with global companies like Microsoft, IBM, Watson, and Salesforce, Kathy founded Nova Lux DR Properties with a mission to make finding, furnishing, and owning a home in the Dominican Republic a seamless, holistic, and joyful experience. She shares how her passion for business, wellness, and human connection shaped her company's vision, helping clients build not just homes, but meaningful memories. This conversation is a powerful reminder that entrepreneurship often grows out of the intersections of our personal and professional lives. Kathy's story blends resilience, innovation, and heart, showing us that when she decides to merge purpose with expertise, she creates lasting impact across borders. Welcome, everybody, to our next episode of She Decides. I am your host, Staci Swiderski, and I'm excited and pleased to introduce our guest, Kathy Colon from New York, who is the founder and CEO of Nova Lux DR Properties. Thank you so much for joining us, Kathy.
Thank you, Staci, for having me.
Of course, of course. So, as I was sharing earlier, this is the first I've really met somebody who does what you do. Obviously, there's like Airbnbs and all that, but yours is really unique. So, I'm really looking forward to hearing more about what you do and just sharing your insights, and also the behind the scenes of running a company as a female, and the support that you've received, and just learning more about you today. So thanks again for joining us, and let's get started.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me here.
Of course. So I have a ton of questions for you, of course. But let's get started a little bit about your background. What has led you to start your company, and how long have you been running your company for now?
Starting my company started as a complete accident. I was taking care of a loved one. I was spending a ton of time in the DR, and every time I would go, I would rent a villa, and I fell in love with the villa, the nature, and it took a long time for me to procure my own villa, and so that was a very long, lengthy process. And once I did, I thought to myself, "Oh my goodness, just imagine what other people have to go through as well." So I kind of like solutioned everything end to end to how to buy and source in the DR.
And now, are you originally, or did you grow up in the Dominican Republic, or you have family there, or what is your background? How are you tied to the DR?
DR has always been a huge part of my life. Both of my parents are Dominican.
Oh,
I spent every single summer with my grandparents on a farm. Since I
beautiful.
grew up, I also did 2 years of high school in the DR, and then I was always between New York and the DR. And then, as you know, as I had my son, I would take him back home to visit my dad that was there, and it's always been a big part of my life.
And so you basically also grew up in New York as well, right? So you've kind of had the best of both.
They're two totally different worlds, but I have to say,
Yeah.
yes, I had the hustle and bustle of New York City. I went to school here, I went to college, grad school, and also the beauty of the earth and a farm and things that ground you in nature that are so beautiful.
That is amazing. Well, lucky you, because I definitely can sense the New York accent. So I knew you had to. I got that. I got that. So I'm like, she spent some time here. Yeah. I love it. I love it. So you've held executive roles before, obviously at Microsoft, IBM, and so on. What did you learn from those experiences that really helped you, shaped you as a founder and a CEO today?
So they were all very different. With IBM, I looked at the world from like navigating innovation, a lot of data. That was my first introduction. First part of my healthcare career was in medical devices. And with Microsoft, it's like, how do you grow on this massive, epic global scale? So looking at the world, not just being based in an office, but looking at the working with different time zones and different
Right.
continents.
Worldwide.
Exactly. And with Salesforce was so unique. It was like, and the CEO there, Mark Benioff, which I love, is so eclectic and he has like characters. It was more about storytelling and how do you build a brand that really stands out, like, and people will remember you. You know,
Right.
he's like CRM, and CRM is not like the most sexiest thing, but nonetheless, he makes it so much fun.
That's awesome. So you've like really have this collective, almost like mentorship, really, that you've been able to really surround yourself around to bring out the best of your role as a founder and a CEO. Um,
Exactly.
that's great, and to have, yeah, definitely to be surrounded by that, and some really big enterprises to to experience that from. So, what was the turning point really that made you realize you wanted to start the Nova Lux DR properties? I know you had mentioned just the traveling back and forth um, from New York to take care of family in the Dominican Republic. Um, but was there like one specific experience, property where you're just like, that's an aha moment, and I want to make this an experience for anybody else doing something similar?
Stacey, happened by pure accident. I did not set out to start this company. It evolved organically. Although the moment was, I'm like, okay, I need to rent my villa. How do I get my villa rented? And I said, I'm going to create a website and I'm going to put it on there. I'm going to have people visit it. And the next thing you knew, I grew this community. And they're like, well, why don't you put my property on there? Why don't you? And I'm like, well, I don't just want to put any property on there. So I started really creating a little checklist of things that I like. I look at everything from a healthcare lens, being like a public health professional.
Yeah.
It has to have things that I like if I want to rent it. So I created a checklist. And next thing you know, I went from rental to sales. And then next thing you know, I had like developers reaching out to me. I was like, well, let's talk about this. And I kept growing and growing. Next thing you know, I'm like, okay, so this is my full-fledged company. And I had to like do a business plan. What am I going to offer services and just do the whole thing end to end.
And so, where were you working during this time? Like, what was your full time job when all this kind of unfolded?
I was doing this while I was working at Microsoft.
Oh my goodness. So, how long did you actually continue working at Microsoft while you were simultaneously starting your company? And when did you decide to say, this is what I'm doing full time?
Well, I started the villa like a few years ago. So I bought the villa, decorated the villa, which is another really interesting topic. How do you get furniture shipped, procure,
Right.
source? And then it didn't happen until like probably last summer where you know was thinking, okay, this is going to be my company. I went and I got it registered. It was like Q4. And then by that time, I was like, okay, I was all in. I had to wear so many different hats
Yeah.
that I couldn't sustain a full time job and doing that.
It's like two full time jobs at that point.
100%. Yes.
And you
Non,
mentioned earlier you have a son. Do you have other children or one son?
I have a 24-year-old son that's currently in the military.
Oh, so exciting. What branch?
He's a United States Marine.
Oh, wow. That's well, congratulations. That's
Thank
that's
you.
that's impressive. So starting your company, what I love to talk about like the support that us women have behind, when we're starting a company or we're moving up, within our position at our company. Did you have other than within what you shared earlier at Microsoft and having or Salesforce and just having these other executives to really look up to. Did you have support personally, like with any, to help you start your company or share more about that? Like, cause that's a big jump from going from such a, a large role to starting a company. I mean, that's probably a little scary too, right?
You question yourself in every single decision. The comforting part for me was like, look, I have done so much formal training. I know the things that I know. What are some of the things that I don't know? I've helped other people start their own companies. So I had a lot of intel. Where I needed the support was, okay, how am I going to brand this? So I needed to get like a PR firm to kind of help guide and position. Okay, what do we bring to them? Because it's such a niche
It
market.
is. Yes. Yes.
How many people do you know that are buying real estate in the DR?
Right. I mean, a whole nother
That's
country.
top secret. So how
It's
do I
not like
get?
it's next door.
It's like going to Florida,
Right.
right?
Right.
A lot of people go to Florida.
Yeah.
So, like, how do people find out about this? Are comfortable with it? How do I brand it? So, branding was a really big, um, source of like not frustration, but like it was very questionable. And so, once I picked out the firm that I was going to work with, and also my web developer and the designer, they have played like such intricate roles because
Mm.
the web designer and the PR, they work with a lot of startups. So they see things from a different angle. I tell them my vision and they try to incorporate my vision. So that's the support that I had that was so incredibly important.
Yeah, I bet. And now, are you running the company alone? Do you have help
I
other
do.
than what you've outsourced, like with the marketing and the PR and the
No,
but do you have do you have staff?
a small team. I have a very small team. It's a smart team and it's very agile. I have someone that helps like with social media. I have someone that's videography, but for this like birthing of it, it's such a little baby for me. And I
Small
want
but
to.
mighty. Small but mighty. That's all that matters, right?
That's right. And I want to meet the customers, help the customers, and every single time we like there is a match, and they're so happy. It brings me so much
Ah,
joy.
well, that's. I love when like you have something that you're good at, and then you mix it with compassion that brings you joy, and it's your company. I mean, that's just the American dream, right?
Yeah, yes.
It's
I'm like,
amazing.
I'm so excited. I know the perfect property for you. But it's and then people are there's some of them are skeptical, but then once they get to know me and know the story and the background, they will feel more comfortable.
Right, right. Oh, I'm
It's
sure. I'm sure.
hard to hand that over, Stacy.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. So, as you know, many women they hesitate. We hesitate before stepping into any kind of leadership role, or starting a business. What gave you the confidence to take that leap? Was it just really, like you said, you have the intel, but like the true confidence to leave your career job, right? That you've been doing for so long into, to starting your own company. I mean, that's it's amazing.
Yes, and I have been battle tested. I'm going to use my son's words. I have been battle tested. With my career and going up the ladder in corporate America has been no easy. It has not been easy. So I would say perseverance and really, being resilient. And I always thought to myself, if I don't do this now, when am I going to do it? And then I'm going to regret not doing it. And the what if? So, Kathy, bank on yourself. Try this out. It's scary, but push through the scary, and you never know how it's going to come out on the other side. So far, I've worn so many different hats. It's been a lot of fun.
You're like no regrets at all. Well, I love that, and that's something that I feel like I preach all the time to people is that you know what, chase your dream, do it. You can always go back if you need to, right, or if you want to, or whatever, but don't have regrets, right? I think that's so important. So your company takes a holistic approach to luxury real estate. Can you tell us what that means to you and how does that set Nova Lux apart?
Sure. So, as I mentioned, I have this checklist, and I vet out the based on having lighting, air quality, green space. It has to have like a walking trail, has to be near like some sort of water feature. So a pool, a lake, the ocean. And so, or it can have like an equestrian center nearby, horses really regulate our nervous system. So I look at aging in place, longevity, generational living, outdoor living, what does that do to you? Like brings down cortisol levels. That's what I look for when I look
Yeah.
at properties. And there are properties that I have said, no, thank you. I can't work with you.
Yeah, yeah, because the surroundings and wow, it sounds amazing. I just want to go there and like a retreat.
Totally, she totally comes, Stacy.
It sounds amazing. So how do you balance your background in public health and business in your current work?
I am still very involved. I do a lot of mentoring of students in school public health. I sit on the board. I am constantly involved with the new agendas that are coming out. And I stay involved and I try to take that same approach of like things that are going on here to the DR, although not very similar. Um, but I look at the needs and I compare what the needs are and I give it my own flavor.
And how often are you traveling from New York to the DR?
It depends. It depends what the business needs are. I actually just got back this weekend, and it was this very super productive trip. I went and visited a different part of town that had like these sustainable village. It's this particular kind of like client.
Yeah.
The lady's Italian and her husband that are building this, and I was like, wow, I was blown away. So it depends on business needs. However many times I have to go, I'll go.
Yeah, that's wow, you have the life. Going back and forth, back and forth. What is the weather like there right now?
I was like high 80s, 90s,
Okay.
hot,
Okay.
staying hot.
Yeah, pretty hot. Yeah, yeah. So navigating real estate in a foreign country can obviously be daunting for so many people. I can imagine. I mean, you're killing it here. You're rocking it. But what were some of the biggest challenges that you faced in the early days, and how did you overcome those? I know you had mentioned earlier about like even furnishing the villas. So I'm sure that's pretty challenging. But can you add more to that or share more in detail about that?
The biggest thing for me was trust. Who do I
Mm,
trust? Where do I go? Who's reliable? I didn't know like the state of the state. So throughout time, and I was so skeptical, I built relationships. And these people have been
there you go.
amazing. So I know, they have to be a certain kind of way to work with me. And I trust them. The community has grown bigger, so if I need something, I just know who to contact and who my resources are. With the furniture and the design, it was such a trial and error. It was like which shipping company is going to deliver my things on time and not broken. So we had to go through like at least four different shipping companies, and after that, I've actually helped like some two clients actually design their villa, ship furniture from here, and each time we did it, it became more seamless. I
Yeah,
have
I can imagine, but like you said, building that trust and getting to know the people. And like you said, you may have to go through a few before you really nail it down. And then I'm sure just, people know other people. And then it's just almost like a networking, I'm assuming, right?
yes. So the network has grown exponentially, and not in just one part of the country. I have this amazing carpenter that makes the most incredible beds, and you can pick your oak wood, American, Brazilian, and he does such beautiful work. So I have one in one part of the country, and then I have another one that's in another part of the country, and it's just been beautiful the way that it has organically unfolded.
Oh, that has to be key, having a couple carpenters. I mean, they can almost probably handle anything, right?
Totally.
Yeah, that's wow, that's great. So, you know, what
Look at
are
this.
your
So they'll say, "Look at this. Which tree trunk do you want to work with?" And some of these things are so huge. I'm like, I don't know which one, but that one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then you can pick their brains. What do you think? What do you think? What?
Exactly. Show me pictures. Where have you done this before?
Yeah, yeah. Wow. Yes, definitely the carpenters. I'm sure that has to be that's a great contact to have for sure. So,
Yeah.
what personal values or experiences fueled your drive to become a CEO, and how do you stay focused through the toughest moments?
I go back to the core, to the simplicity
Hmm.
of who I am. And for me, it's always being that example for my son to show him that anything is possible. He could build anything. So, what am I building today that can be my legacy for my son? So
I
that's
love that.
my focus. He's my only child. And then you said the second part of the question was,
Yeah, how do you stay focused like through your toughest moments? Like when you have something, let's say you're in New York and something happens there in the Dominican and it's like, oh my gosh, I have to get there. Or are you able to really lean on the people who are there to get you through anything that may come up? If that
yeah.
is one of your toughest moments.
Well, there are many different challenges. Like like something in a pool can break, or you can have a leak. Having a handyman is really important. Having so property managers that manage the properties, they are so, and I can't believe I didn't mention this earlier. They are so important to my operation. Like I cannot function without like my property manager on the ground and my handyman. So those two, like in case
Yeah, I
anything
would
breaks,
imagine.
there's a leak, there's a big storm. How do we, protect everything? So they are just so important for me. They're like an extension of me.
Well, like you said too, like learning to trust people too, right? And we can't do it all. We're one person. And obviously when you're so far away, you can't be at two places at once. So yeah, definitely trusting in your team and those around, that
Yes,
definitely can help. That's
I
what
have a really good
obviously,
team. Yes.
yeah, that's great. That's great. So what advice would you give to women who want to invest in real estate, either personally or professionally, but they don't know where to start?
Take a leap of faith, co-create, get rid of the fear that always holds us back, build something. What's really important to you? Like you just asked me, what's important to you? Your family, legacy, yourself. What kind of a future do you want to build? How do you see yourself living? And just go for it.
I love it. Just go for it, right? Like we said earlier, no regrets.
No, you only
Yeah,
live,
no
like my
regrets.
father would say to me, hey, Kathy, when are you going to do this? You only live once.
That's right. You only live once. Got to make the best of it. You just don't know what tomorrow is going to bring ever.
Okay.
So, what's your vision for the future of Nova Lux DR Properties, and how do you hope it impacts women, both clients and your team?
Sure. So my vision for Novolux is to keep organically growing it. I actually had a really great experience this trip where I spent a lot of time in an equestrian center, and I thought to myself, like, I'm studying the horses, being around the horses. How can I integrate horses into this experience? So it's something that, that's sacred, right? Your connection between a horse, and how do I give that experience to other people? As far as growing it, that the vision is to expand to other parts of the country with, with my checklist, and integrate animals into this as well. Your other part of the question, Stephen?
Was really like, how would that impact, say women, any women, and both whether they're clients or staff, to really empower them to start. Yeah.
Yes. So in terms of empowering women, Novolux means new light in Latin.
Oh,
I
I
want,
love that. I did not know that. So
yes,
glad you mentioned that. That's
yes.
amazing.
So I want Novolux to be a lighthouse, a beacon of a lighthouse for women, to help empower them to like own business, own real estate, buy that land, build, plant those crops, to empower them. I think women sometimes
Yes.
are so scared of like, oh, can I do it? I don't have the money. Close your eyes, take a leap of faith forward, and just go for it.
Yes, I agree wholeheartedly. And, especially when you think of, say, what you're doing, it seems to be a very male dominated, right? Industry. So definitely, I mean, you are leading by example, proving that women can do whatever we want to do. And it's just incredible. It's incredible. Do you ever think about expanding even out of the Dominican Republic? Would you consider other countries at some point, or am I like way fetching out in the future here?
Lacey, you're such a visionary. I would say yes. I have that in the works. I'm thinking about it.
Oh,
Totally.
oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I'm sure you're going to achieve it.
Thank
You can clearly tell that you are very good at what you do and definitely compassionate about it. And it's going to be really exciting to see what you do in the future for sure. I love it. And I think too, again, going back to your experience, how, you know, what really stemmed from starting your own, you know, property company of just making it easier for people, not being such a hassle. And so what you've experienced, you've learned by those experiences, and now you're really just paving the way for people to enjoy this and to be able to travel and
I'm
make it
sharing
easy.
my intel. I am helping people achieve their dreams, their joy. Because when you think about the concept, it sounds so incredibly daunting, which it is.
A little daunting, yes.
But when you're there, you're like, this is my place. I can walk to the beach. Oh my God, I have a pool. I have this new community. You are going to be so excited.
Yeah, that getaway, and like you said, just the beauty around you. I mean, and how cool, like you said earlier, here you're in New York, you get to leave that hustle and bustle and you land in this place that's just like heaven. You're like, oh my goodness, it's like night and day, right? It's
Yes.
total relaxation. But you still have, like, if you are working remotely and you do it, you have all the technology, you have all that, but it's just the calmness is just, I'm sure, surreal.
Exactly. If I would have had someone that was a version of me helping me guide me through this, it would have been so much easier.
But, you know, as we know, the road to success, it's a lot of zigzags and you learn along the way, and it makes us, you know, stronger and just through those experiences, right?
I am very grateful for the zigzag.
Yeah. Yes, yes, because here you are starting, you know, you started your company and now you can help others and just make it such a more pleasant experience. So thank you so much for sharing your story. It's just, it's so empowering. And that's what we love to do here, obviously, at She Decides, is empower women to not give up on their dreams and, you know, just to keep every day just moving, you know, just moving ahead, right? So I always like to close our episodes with some fun questions to get to know you a little bit better. So these are just our rapid fire questions. And I have a few I want to ask you if you don't mind. I think this is
Yes.
always fun. All right. And really simple, shouldn't take too much thought. The first one is, do you prefer coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Same. And I need another one this morning. Oh, this is a good one. What do you prefer? A beach villa or a mountain cabin?
Beach villa.
Yep. We're two for two. I'm with you on both of these.
Right.
The third question, what's one word that your closest friends would use to describe you?
Tenacious.
Oh, I like that. Powerful. I like it.
Mhm.
A few more. What is your favorite? Do you have a favorite book that changed your mindset?
The Book of Joy.
Oh, nice, nice. Oh, this is a good one. A Dominican dish everyone needs to try.
Los tres golpes.
Oh, tell me more about that.
The three power hitters. It's going to be a mashed plantain with some fried salami and an egg. That's the breakfast.
Oh, it's a breakfast. Okay. And what is it again? I like how you said it.
Los tres golpes.
I won't even try because I'll ruin it. Much prettier coming from you. All right, two more. What is your superpower in business?
My ability to build relationships with people. I'm really good with people.
And that is that's super important for any business owner. Got to build those relationships.
Yes.
Last but not least, I'm going to have you finish the sentence. Empowered woman blank.
An empowered woman knows what she wants and she makes it happen.
There you go. I love it. I love it. Thank you. That was
was a lot of
great.
fun. Yes.
That was, this is like one of my favorite parts of
Fun.
the episodes is, and again, I always like to, after, talking to our guests, I'm like, I think I could almost answer these for them. But then sometimes I'm like, I would not have expected that answer. So I love it. Well, thank you again. It's been such a great time spending with you this morning, Kathy. And we wish you nothing but the best. I know you're going to continue to do amazing things. And again, we appreciate you taking time with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I love the community that you build for women, and I can't wait to chat with you again.
Yes, likewise. Thank you so much.